Episode 26. Let us not please. I haven't talked much about my spiritual past in recent blog posts or on very many of my podcast episodes, but it still is a part of who I am. I'm trying to figure out what form it should take, how I feed it, and how it plays out in my day-to-day life. But I come back to it periodically as another lens that I can use to examine the world in my own life. And sometimes I think specifically about the rituals that were part of my past in religion, the Catholic Mass to be specific. And there's a lot of symbolism in there, and for those of you who are Catholic or Christian, you likely know it well. But I think what's interesting to me is the juxtaposition of some of the symbolism in the service and in the Mass, and the way Christians and society as a whole really, how we act and how we prioritize various things, given what we claim to believe and the meaning of the rituals and symbols within the services. So I wrote this poem, Let Us Not Please, with that in mind. I don't want to explain it too much. I don't want to parse it to death, but hopefully you'll see and hear a lot of the symbols that you're used to seeing in Christian services and in the Catholic Mass, and the juxtaposition with what unfortunately we see a lot of in today's world. So without further ado, let us not please. You've heard it said across the clumsy temple of the Christian while, let us not please, unless it pleases the one who matters. But who, I ask, is that? Yes, who is the pleaser worth pleasing with our pleasantries? And more, much more, the bending in half, the couching at the knees, the entire soul supine. There at the precipice of bigger than we bow, do what you will, and I will do what you please, if it pleases you. But if you please to tell me what pleasing of the great divine pleaser ever amounted to a hill of beans, wars and vengeance and greed, small children we cannot somehow feed who do not know the meaning of the word dinner. And yet here we are, at a marble trough on Sundays where we sup like 12 especially chosen, 12 pleasers fawning flightily between the short king bread and flagons of wine, and look what happened to them, to us, devoured by tongues fed with flame and all the detritus of man charged to change. But change was little, and what change we did little, and now the cauldron of our human stew from centuries lost and tantrums through boiled to a platitude. Please, and all the good will save you. I hate to say it, truly, consummate pleaser that I am, but here we are again, a pleasing people, from a distance anyway, and all the racket of religion gives us is politesse, like buttered bread before a famished horde. If it please you, good God, take this flimsy loaf, this puckered wine. Never mind the whores outdoors in rags and tattered dignity conniving for a morsel, for a crumb, for anyone to give. Please, if you please, just one. But none. Oh, you unpleasant sum, find a shelter, find a willing fop, a someone who will bend and bow to please you. Now, if you please excuse me, I have a pleaser to appease.